so you guys can see my lovely jumpsuit.
You're like a model.
Yeah, what do you? I really love those trousers.
Give us a little twirl.
I think if I start doing that, this will be a completely different podcast.
I'm the founder of Mini Food Explorers, which is essentially a children's cookery school. I run after-school clubs, I run preschooler cooking classes, I run holiday workshops, and then more recently I've taken my business online and I've launched a online course which is for tweens, which is called Junior Chef Challenge.
Hello, welcome to Kitchen Tales, the podcast where we speak to small businesses, we talk about our own business, and we just have lots of laughs and fun. And here is I'd like to introduce my co-host, Colline.
Hello.
How are you, Colline?
I'm all right.
You're looking beautiful.
And so are you. So we are dressed up today because we are in celebration. We're celebrating our podcast running for 6 whole months.
I know, isn't that incredible? I am so happy. I mean, still so enjoying it.
Right?
And it's just, we've done 6 months.
We've done 6 months every single week. We've got podcasts that have been coming out and I'm just really proud of us. Yeah. So for those that don't know, we are actually a team of 3. So we've got our amazing Stella who runs a business, June Content Studio. So she's behind the scenes. She helps out with our social media. She helps us with some of the planning of what we're going to be talking about. And yeah, the 3 of us have just had so much fun being able to run this.
And just meeting all the guests and
Exactly.
just meeting new people and just helping them as well. And it's just been a great experience. And I think everyone is really enjoying it as well.
Yeah, we really are. It's a lot of work, but we genuinely really enjoy it. And we're really thankful to Luna, who's sponsored our outfits today.
Yeah,
so,
great party outfits.
Right? Great party outfits.
Yeah.
And this is something that you can wear whenever you're celebrating. Absolutely anything. It's a birthday. There's going to be New Year coming up soon. Absolutely anything that you want to wear to celebrate. Luna is the home for you to be able to find good quality women's wear where it is affordable. It suits and fits many different body shapes and sizes, and I just love how she does something for everybody.
I love this. This is lovely.
I really
so
do.
Nice.
And actually it's
cozy
making
and warm.
me, it really is.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't like wearing too many long sleeve things and I'm always in summer mode.
Yes. Yeah.
This is nice because I can wear it like this or I can take it off. So you guys can see my lovely jumpsuit.
You're like a model.
Yeah, what do you? I really love those trousers.
Give us a little twirl.
I think if I start doing that, this will be a completely different podcast. So let's not do that. And I love your trousers.
Oh, I know.
How do you feel
love
with
it.
them?
Oh, they're so comfortable. They're lovely. I mean, comfortable. Velvety, lovely. A little bit of glitter on my top.
Sparkles.
I could have done with a bit of a fake tan, but
you look
apart
good.
from that,
You look
I feel very
absolutely good.
comfortable.
It is,
Get some
isn't it?
heels on,
Yeah.
and away I go.
You're good. So if any of you guys are looking for something to wear for any of your celebration around this time of the year, look no further than looking at Luna. She still has a pop-up that is based in the Kenneth Centre, and she also has the main shop, which is near Parkway, right on the corner of Parkway on North Brook Street, just opposite Metro Bank. So do check her out. So what have you been up to?
I'm just finishing off my shoot lunches.
Yeah.
Almost done with those. They've been absolutely great this year. Been fantastic. Really nice clients as well. Really nice clients. I hope I take that forward for next year and get some more business from them as well. So I've done a lot of shoot lunches. It's just, I don't know. It's heads in a spin. Heads in a spin. I'm just going from one thing to the next.
Yeah. So I actually had somebody who asked me, because I think we mentioned the shoot lunches on a previous episode. They were like, what's shoot lunches? What's going on there? So can you explain what actually shoot lunches are?
Yeah. So it's a group of people who come together and go to mainly a country estate, and they're shooting pheasants. And then they have, so I usually tend to do a pre-shoot dinner. It tends to be about anywhere between 8 to 12 people. And then the next day, providing levensies, first of all. So they'll have some sausage rolls, they'll have some hot soup and maybe something sweet. And then they will sit down to a 2-course. I've made a lot of pheasant casseroles or beef bourguignon. Very easy, very hot and warming casseroles. and then finishing off with something like a crumble or a good British pudding, sticky toffee pudding, and then coffee and tea, and then they'll just go out on their drives in between, and then come back for more food and have her afternoon tea. Tends to have a cake, and actually I always have some napkins. They take them away because they're so full after all of that as well. But it's a lovely day. It's they really enjoy it, and as long as they're well fed and
we can have some fun. Because some people were asking me, and I'm like, actually, before I moved to West Berkshire, this is not a concept or anything that I was familiar with.
It's very British.
It's very British and very around the countryside near where we are. We've got loads of locations where people come and do that sort of sport.
There's a lot of it goes on around here.
Yeah, it does.
So, yeah. Good. And we've got another guest today.
We do.
We'd like to introduce Jemma from Mini Food Explorers.
Hi, thank you for having me today.
Hello, Jemma. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. It's a bit chilly, but...
It is. It is.
Yeah, winter is officially here, isn't it?
It is, but I do like this time of year.
Yeah.
It's quite magical. My children are still relatively young, so Christmas is just a fun time of year for us.
It absolutely is. There's always something to look forward to. All the magic, everything exciting. Tell us a bit more about your business and what you do.
So I'm the founder of Mini Food Explorers, which is essentially a children's cookery school. So I run after school clubs. I run preschooler cooking classes, I run holiday workshops, and then more recently I've taken my business online and I've launched a online course which is for tweens, which is called Junior Chef Challenge. So I have limited number of hours in the day that I can get out to help support people to get confident in the kitchen, whether that's children or families. So by launching my online course, it has made me be more accessible to a lot more people.
That's amazing.
And how did you get into it? Have you always been a cook?
I have been in the food industry for over 25 years now. So my passion for food started at a really young age. Like, my mum was a great cook and I loved being in the kitchen. And sort of one of my favourite things to do was to host a dinner party for my parents, and that would even include sort of designing the menu and getting them to choose what they wanted to eat. So it came quite naturally for me then to do home economics for GCSE. I actually found that I was really good at that, and my teacher at the time said to me, look, you've got a real passion for this and a real ability, so I think you should be considering continuing to study this for A-level. And she actually said to me at the time, she's like, I could see you as a product developer or for M&S, and I was all right, well, I didn't really know much about
what that meant.
But kind of put that to the back of my mind. So I carried on, studied it for A-level, loved it still, and decided I wanted to take it further. So I took a degree at Sheffield Hallam called Food and Consumer Studies, and then part of that was a vocational year where we spent a year in industry. So I was working for a company called St Ivel, and they were a dairy-based company, and I was making dips and cottage cheese for Sainsbury's in the product development team, and I absolutely loved it. So I almost debated whether or not I went back and finished my final year, but my parents were like, no, you will. So I went back, finished my degree, and then I was offered a position on a graduate training scheme in product development, working for a poultry manufacturer.
Different.
Yeah, really different. Quite an eye-opener. And part of that was sort of working in all different areas of the business so I could get a real grounding of understanding how food manufacturing worked. So that could even be working on the factory floor, but that was brilliant because it really taught me to understand, how the factories worked. And as a result of that, the products that I was able to develop were more likely to be successful because I knew how they were going to make them. So I did that for a couple of years, and then I worked for another couple of food manufacturers where we were making things like soups, sauces, ready meals for the likes of Tesco, M&S. And then I eventually got to the point I thought, I really fancy being on the other side and I'd like to join retail. And an opportunity came up working for Morrisons. So they were integrating a new product development team there, whereas previously it had been the buyers that were doing the recipe development. And I was like, wow, that's an amazing opportunity. So I had a huge category there, which was all chilled prepared food. So spanning from breaded fish to sushi to sandwiches and salads and things again. And whilst I was doing that, I think I actually managed to redevelop and improve all the quality of about 1,400 products.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Which was phenomenal.
Goodness me.
Yeah. And I then also created some first to market products, so a range called Dinner Made Easy, which was about sort of getting people back into scratch cooking, but with some elements of it pre-prepared so that it was quick for them to make. I then met my husband. Well, he wasn't my husband at the time, but he was in London and I was up in Leeds. And then I saw this job advertised as a product developer at M&S. So that's where the M&S thing comes back in. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
and I was really excited because M&S is known in the industry for being the best for product development. So I thought, I'm going to go and do that interview. And I loved it and they loved me. And then they offered me a job as a product
amazing.
developer there.
Wow.
So I was with M&S for 9 years almost, working in product development. And I mean, that was an amazing experience. I got to travel all over the world, eating in some of the best restaurants and taking those dishes and recreating them into products that we then sold. And one of my proudest products actually was the Posh Dog.
Was that you?
Yes. Yeah, that was me
Posh
that
Dog,
created
yes,
the Posh Dog.
yes.
That's the only sausage that my son eats. If it's not that, he can't eat anything else.
Yeah.
So there you go. I'm going to tell him. I met the lady who made the Posh Dogs. He's
you
going to
had
be
to
so
tell him.
excited. I have to tell him because literally I spent a lot of money buying those.
I know, I wish that it was my business. But yes, I made it for M&S.
Yes. That's incredible.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was a really interesting one because I could see that there was a gap in the market for sort of a more premium sausage, but knowing that children loved hot dogs. And the ingredients obviously used in hot dogs are not great.
Yeah.
So I wanted to create like a higher meat content with that smoky flavour, but with also the snap. Of a hot dogs. The Posh Dog was created.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And that was down to you?
Yes, down to me and my
Yeah.
suppliers, obviously.
Yes, mainly you.
We're going to say it to you.
It's you, yeah. And then what was next?
So what was next? I took a bit of time out when my children were born, and then I saw a job advertised with Annabelle Carmel, and I was really passionate about children's food. Prior to that, I'd started sort of creating recipes with my children and cooking with them at home and then sharing them on Instagram, particularly when it was sort of the lockdown times and I was just like, gosh, nobody knew what to do with their children. And I thought, well, cooking's the perfect thing to do because you're teaching them a life skill. And they're starting to understand where food comes from, which is really important to me. It's something I feel really passionate about. So I went to work with Annabelle Carmel for a while, and I thought, actually, do you know what? I can do this myself. You know, I should start my children's cookery school. It'd been in the back of my mind for some time, and seeing like what a success she'd made of her business, starting from scratch, gave me the final push to actually get on and do it. So about 3 years ago, I started, and I started running preschooler classes at home, so from age like 2.5, and then I expanded that into the after school clubs, which I run at my children's school, which is really nice because I'm able to give something back to the school too. And then, as I said before, I think because like my time is limited, I mean, each class that I do takes me about 4 hours worth of preparation.
Yeah, of course.
You'll know. It's not just turning up and delivering something. There's a lot of prep that goes into it. So I decided, that, you know, I wanted, rather than just cakes and biscuits and things, I felt really passionate about children learning to be able to cook a proper meal, which is why I created this Junior Chef Challenge course. So they're actually learning basic skills from like how to chop an onion safely, and then taking that and some of the recipes and things that we're cooking, like, you know, staples for macaroni cheese. We do like a Thai curry. There's some sweet baking within that too, because everybody loves a bit of sweet baking. But then it sort of culminates in all the steps to make a roast dinner.
Nice.
So it's great if you've got, you know, a slightly more confident tween that wants to do it themselves. The parents can just set them up because they're step-by-step videos and they can watch it. Or what I'm also finding is that because screen time and technology is taking over our lives at the moment, parents are trying to find ways of how to reconnect back with their children again. And that's where cooking is such a great way to do that. Like, connecting and spending time in the kitchen. And some people aren't confident doing that, but actually with my step-by-step videos, they can do it together.
That's brilliant.
So my 8-year-old daughter helped me test the course, and she absolutely, was so proud when she cooked her first dish and showed it to me.
Yeah. And did you say that you go into venues? You don't do this at home?
Yeah, I do a combination.
Yeah.
So the preschoolers I do at home, and then I go into school to run the after school club. And then things like my workshops. So in fact, one of them I'm running in a village hall. So I've got some gingerbread house workshops coming up, which are just great fun. So we do it totally from scratch. We make the gingerbread, we cut it all out, we bake it, and then we build it all together.
That's
a mess.
So, it is a lot of fun.
That's the fun.
I know. Yeah.
That's brilliant. So when are you having these courses? Like, when are they happening?
So the online course is available to buy now.
Anytime.
But it makes a great Christmas present if you've got, I don't know about lots of people, but my children, they don't really need anything. So I really like experience gifts because you can spend the time with them. So that's available, and I'm running a special offer on it at the moment where it's discounted to £49 rather than £99. So the price will go up on that in January. So if you use the code Tomato Love, that gets you the discount.
Oh, that's good. Christmas present.
So that's a great Christmas present. And then my gingerbread workshops, I run for a combination from home and from a village hall. But I'm also going to record one this year. So if people can't come to me, that they can then watch it and do it at home.
That's brilliant.
Is the plan.
Yeah. I think keeping them accessible, then this way you don't have to be living nearby if you're not able to do it. Because it's, even though I cook and bake, that's one thing me and my kids have not done for such a long time, making gingerbread. So I'll definitely be interested in either coming in person. So when you're doing them in person, where are you based? Where are you?
So I'm based over in a little village called Waltham St Lawrence, which is on the outskirts of Maidenhead. So it's about 40 minutes away from Newbury. It's not too far.
Not too far.
That's brilliant. Absolutely love that.
And what are the ages that you range from for the child? I know you said tweens, but what age do you start?
Yeah, so I start at 2.5, which people are always really surprised about. But I think the earlier you can get children in the kitchen, the better. I mean, even if that's just spooning cake into cases. But actually, I have 2.5 and 3-year-olds grating. So if you can get them confident at that younger age, they're just sponges and they absorb everything. I mean, I make the same recipes with a 2.5-year-old as I would with the 5-year-old.
That's brilliant.
But they'll just need a bit more help and support from an adult to do that. So yes, the cooking classes start from 2.5 all the way up to 13-year-olds. And then I'm going to be hopefully doing a project in the new year with the YMCA over in Henley, helping to support some of their residents to learn to cook from scratch. So they're relying less on buying takeaways and ready meals.
So people can learn how to cook.
Learn to cook the basics.
That is amazing. I'm just thinking about how patient you must be.
Yes.
And especially working with the younger children. Because that's my biggest downfall. I get when I'm trying to teach my children, I get quite impatient. And I've been trying to learn to be patient. So I think coming to your courses would help me. And also teach the adults the skills to just be a bit more patient and take our time in being able to teach. Because that takes a lot of love, dedication and patience.
But I think that's what's so nice about my in-person classes is that I am actually a really patient person. So everything sort of comes and is quite calm and soothing, and that creates a nice atmosphere for people to be able to learn in. Don't get me wrong, it can get a bit stressful from times, like you might get a broken egg and then you're having to quickly clear it up before somebody slips on it. But actually you have to embrace the mess, because everything can be cleaned up at the end of the day. And the benefit from spending that time and creating a bit of mess is amazing.
It's amazing.
It's also so important for young children to try all the foods as well. What sort of food are they making? Everything.
Yes, I mean they make all sorts of things. So yesterday, for example, we were making a vegetable lasagna.
Yeah.
Which when I turned up at school, the lady was saying to me, "Oh, what are you doing today?" I was like, "Oh, we're doing vegetable lasagna." She's like,
Yeah.
"Wow."
Yeah, because that's what I'm thinking.
Very
I'm like,
time
that
consuming.
sounds-
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what I try to do in the cooking classes is make it in a simple way. So yesterday I'd already pre-made a base tomato sauce. So what they were doing was chopping up vegetables. So we use courgettes, which can be a vegetable that children don't necessarily particularly like. So I like to expose them to different things, and that's quite often why parents will send them to me for cooking classes, is because I do expose them to lots of different things, and it takes time for a child to like something. I think I read there's a statistic like 17 or 20 times you've got to try something before you know whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So it was quite interesting yesterday because we go through and I was saying, "Oh, can you tell me what the different vegetables are?" And one said the courgette, what they thought was a cucumber. And I was like, "Okay, close, part similar sort of family." And then someone was like, "Oh, I know, it's a courgette." And then I was like, "Oh, have you had courgette before?" And then someone was like, "I don't like courgette."
Yeah.
I was like, "That's fine." I said, because we're going to mix it in with other things. And when you combine stuff, then actually you can get a different end result. So even though you think you might not like something, try it.
Yeah.
So actually they all happily were chopping up their courgette. We had mushrooms, peppers, spinach, and we mixed it all with the tomato sauce. And then we layered it into a foil baking dish. And then we made a quick cheese sauce, which was a real cheat. So we used a combination of cream cheese and creme fraiche. And then they grated cheese and sprinkled that on top. So a simple twist on a veg lasagna.
Yeah. And did they like it?
Well, I haven't heard yet.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll find out next
So
week.
do they make it and then they take it home?
Yeah, they make it and then they take it home. So
amazing.
we didn't cook it at school
Yeah.
yesterday. They took it home to cook. But quite often we would cook it there and then they'll have a nibble of it before they take it home.
Yeah.
But I really like to incorporate vegetables and things within some of the baking that we do. So the week before we did carrot cakes. We've done things with like courgette in cakes as well, because it's all about taking children on a journey.
Yeah.
So taking something that's familiar and then twisting it. And like courgette in a cake is a classic one. So, if a child's like, "Oh, I don't like courgette," but actually they really like cake, well, they're more likely to try it.
Yeah, it's like beetroot going in cake.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think putting a beetroot in a cake, but actually it's really good.
Yeah.
It's so good,
and we do
That's how I
that.
make my red velvet cake now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
with
add any
beetroot.
colouring.
Yeah.
I just add beetroot.
The natural
That's a good
colours.
idea.
It's amazing. And I don't know why I wasn't doing that before.
Yeah.
So it's just brilliant learning to do that. Yeah. I think that's absolutely fantastic what you do, honestly. So in schools, what sort of setup would you require the school to have for you to be able to do a class?
I need a relatively large table. I normally have a maximum of 6 children per class, because that means that I can really spend the time with them, because they each make their own individual portion. Because I think sometimes when they do cooking in school, it's like one bowl between 10 children, but this really gets them hands-on to understand how to cook. And I need an oven, essentially. I mean, some of the recipes I can design that they can take them home and bake it, but it's much easier if we can bake it. And then I have all the equipment. So I've got all the bowls, aprons, chopping boards, knives, whisks, everything else that they need.
That's fantastic. Yeah, because I'm just thinking there's a local school that I've worked with before where I've gone and done a few baking things, but I think they would really benefit from a club because they actually have a full-on kitchen that the PTA actually sponsored to get built.
Oh, wow.
But they've not been able to find the time to actually for the children to use it as much as they should
want.
really.
Yeah.
So I think something like that would really benefit. So it's a club that the
So
parents
important,
pay or
really important.
however, I think it's so
Yeah.
important because I remember the passion of it. I mean, I was doing really big classes, like one is like 25 with each one.
That's
So
too
it was
many.
mainly baking.
Yeah.
It was mainly baking, and then but the passion that the kids had, you know, and a lot of the children like, when can we do it again? When can we do it again?
Yeah.
So so I think I'll get you in contact with our school because I think that would really be a good connection to have. And there are other schools locally that would. Is that something that you want to do more of, to do the going to schools? Or
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy going into schools. As I said, the juggle is the physical number of hours in the prep and actually running the club, which is why I'm trying to build some of my online resources. So I've got
it can be done.
online tween course, and I want to look to do something for the younger children, maybe in the new year, whether that will be videos or it will be recipe cards that you can do at home, but also sort of more of the education piece around nutrition and getting children to understand at a much younger age, why certain things are important. So like eating the rainbow, why are peppers good for you? Because I think if you can drill that in at a younger age, I mean, we're in just such a scary world at the moment where, obesity is on the rise in children. They're spending a lot of time watching screens, so they're not getting the exercise. And I think that's having a big impact on overall well-being. So I think we've got to get right back to basics and really, encourage people to get back into the kitchen and make some of those right food choices for themselves. Otherwise, we're just going to end up in this nation of reliant on prepared foods.
That's right.
Which, don't get me wrong, everything in moderation. I know not everybody can cook everything from scratch, and I don't either. But it's making some of those informed choices, but actually teaching children about that, and
having that knowledge, because I think as somebody, if you're learning what you need to do, you're much more likely to do it.
Exactly.
Rather than you're like, oh, I don't know how to cook. You're just like, I don't know, so I'm just going to have this easier option. But if you do know how to do it, there will be times where, again, you can save money.
Yes, cheaper. It's much cheaper to cook for yourself than it is to buy. I mean, I did an Instagram post, I think it was back in the summer, like pizza, which you were talking which in fact is what I'm having for dinner tonight. Love it. You buy a takeaway pizza and it can be £10, but actually to create that dough yourself costs pennies. And then, obviously the prices in the toppings that you choose to add to it. But it's a much more economical way, and it's great fun.
It's great fun. Young children making the dough and then putting their toppings on top and everything. It's exciting.
A lot of your courses and things you do that are in person, are they all sort of weekday things, or do you do some things over the weekends?
It's a combination. So the school ones are during the week, and then I do sort of holiday workshops. So I did some Halloween themed ones this year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which was great fun. And then my gingerbread ones I run in as a combination of in the week, but also weekends, because I know that not everybody can join the sessions during the week.
Nice, that's really good. I mean, what you're doing is incredible, because I think as parents, we all talk about wanting to teach our children, but not having the time, not even knowing where to start. Because even myself, I'm like, what should I start with? It's quite hard. And we're inundated with so many different advices and different things that we need to do. So having a resource like yourself, where you're now doing videos that are online, means that anywhere, wherever you are in the world, really, you can be able to learn how to cook or teach your child how to cook. I think is absolutely fantastic. More people.
It doesn't have to be difficult,
exactly
to learn from scratch, and you can put something together very quick and easy. But people don't understand that or don't know that.
No,
so
I mean,
good.
It's even just as simple things like if you're preparing dinner with a younger child, get them with a grater, get them to start helping you grate the carrots or chop. You can use scissors to chop up things like peppers and herbs, and any little task like that
they can be able to do
is perfect. I think the key thing for me is just letting them get on with it. I mean, I have a tendency to be a bit OCD and liking things to be perfect, which I think when I first started cooking with my children, I found it a bit hard, because I could feel myself wanting to say, oh no, let me just, and I had to stand back and let them, because actually it really doesn't matter what it looks like at the end of the day. I mean, you just see the pride on those children's faces when they present. And when I run the after school cooking club, we do a star baker of the week, and we line all of the whatever they've made up, and then we sort of discuss what's good about it and what's bad about it. And they can also win it by making sure that they're listening to all the instructions, because when they're young that can be quite challenging for them too. But you can just see the grins on their face, they're so proud of what they've done, and that makes me light up, because I'm like, I helped them do that. And then they go skipping out the door and they show the parents what they've made, and
it's such a massive joy, isn't it?
It is.
It genuinely is. So if people want to be able to book any of these things, where can they find you?
So you can find me on Instagram or Facebook. I'm Mini Food Explorers. I also have a website, which is www.minifoodexplorers.com. www.minifoodexplorers.co.uk. So all my classes are available to book through that. I also do private events, so I do birthday parties as well. I have the odd adult group that will say to me, will you do something? So in fact, I'm running an adult gingerbread workshop this year too.
Yeah.
So
That's
yes.
brilliant.
Good.
Oh,
thank you very much.
Honestly, it's brilliant to be able to find this out, especially because that was going to be my next question, finding out that we also do some private things. So if people want to book you for birthdays, because I think that's another great way where people can be able to learn. So that's really good to know. And hopefully all those that are listening can be able to find all those resources as useful as I think they are. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
having me.
Yeah. Before we finish our podcast, we're always asking all our guests what they're going to have for dinner. What are you having dinner? I know you've said it.
I think we know.
I know.
You can tell us a bit more about it.
Well, I'm actually going out for dinner tonight
Yeah.
with my husband. One of our local pubs has just changed hands, so we're going there for dinner, but my children finish school early on a Wednesday, so as I said, I'm going to take the opportunity and we're going to make some pizzas, because I think it's just remembering sometimes it doesn't need to be complicated, and the great thing about pizzas are that they can choose their toppings. So if you've got a fussy eater, it's a great dish to do with them, because you can have a selection of different ingredients out and then they can choose what they want to put in it. So my son, for example, is dairy intolerant, so pizza for him is actually quite challenging, because he hates dairy-free cheese, so he loves making pizza at home because we can just put the tomato sauce on the base and then he can just put whatever toppings he wants on it.
That's perfect.
That's really well.
Lovely.
Yeah.
What do you have?
What am I having? So you just made me start thinking, what am I actually having? So today I've just been making loads of things for the freezer, and I'm actually having a beef bourguignon. And then you make loads of those?
Yes, I do.
So I'm having that, and I'm just doing it with some mash and some vegetables.
Lovely.
How about you?
Spaghetti bolognese tonight. Very
Nice.
easy and simple.
Yeah, just keep you.
But I love it. It's all
nice
this
and warming.
comfort food at the moment, which I love.
It really is. It's that time of the year.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Gemma.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and we hope that more people will be booking a lot of your courses and teaching their children how to cook. And for those that are watching or listening to us, you can find us on all platforms that you can find a podcast. You can find us on YouTube and kitchen.tales on Instagram.